Hi, I'm Jay, welcome to the workshop, and today we're going to be taking a look at these tough paint products from Simoniz. Now, I was kind of stumbled upon this particular paint. I went in just for a normal tin of gloss black and satin black, which I like to keep in the cupboard for some touch-ups on some other projects. And the person behind the counter basically recommended this as being pretty much what he said, powder coat in a can. I guess that remains to be seen. But I've had a quick look online about this, and it's designed to be a one-coat durable finish paint, which only comes in the two colours you see here, satin and gloss black, and it only comes in an aerosol. Now, if this is cracked up to what it's claiming, it could be a replacement for the old style Hammerite. The new style stuff I don't touch with a barge pole because it just doesn't seem to be the same composition as the old stuff. So hopefully this will be a replacement for what used to be a great product. So how are we going to test it? We've got our aluminium sides, which I spent all day sanding yesterday, sanding the old bed liner type stuff off it, mainly because it started to peel in places, and the Hilux is going down a different route, being a full-time camper, so we wanted something a little bit more camper friendly rather than being the rugged look inside. So we're going to repaint them. They're currently sanded down to, started off with a 60 grit to get rid of the paint, finished off with 120 grit. Even though it does say no primer required, we are going to be using an Etch Primer, maybe because it's an aluminium panel. Aluminium doesn't like to bond to paint too well, so an Etch Primer is pretty much essential. But other than that, we're just going to be spraying this stuff straight on top of the Etch Primer, no prep or anything like that, just to see if it does actually give the super smooth finish it claims. So let's give it a go. First of all, the panels are degreased with pre-wiped degreaser, and then a tack cloth wiped over them to remove any dust particles. Then the first coat of Etch Primer was applied. After the first coat of Etch Primer, I decided to move into the garage as the wind was starting to blow up debris into the paint. Now that the Etch Primer has been applied, there was a 2 to 3 hour dry time period, which allowed me to do a couple of jobs on the newly acquired Honda Jazz. Before the top coat was applied, I wiped down with a tack cloth again, just to make sure there's no dust particles before the final coat. I started with a thin first coat to aid adhesion, and then followed up with a second wet coat. after 2 coats of Etch Primer and 2 coats of the tough satin black. This is the gloss black because I've run out of cans. This is the article. This is the finished piece. Yeah, it seems alright at the moment. It has actually smoothed out quite a bit. There is some bits stuck in it from stuff blowing into the garage, but I wasn't expecting a flawless finish. It was just mainly to tidy them up. But yeah, apparently to reach full toughness, it will take 24 hours to fully cure. So I'm reserving judgment until we get these actually in and installed. It did remind me of Hammerite in a way, similar kind of smell and the same kind of coverage. So I don't know if the products are very similar, because this is a American brand. It is made in America. So I don't know if it's a play on Hammerite's formula. However, it covered alright. And yeah, like I said, it has actually smoothed out quite a bit, so only time will tell. Just quickly before we go, this was the stuff that I originally had on it. It was protector coat, and I think the main reason why it's kind of flaking off here, because I can actually pull that off, is that I didn't actually etch prime it to begin with. Like I said at the beginning of the video, aluminium has to be etch primed because it's quite a highly polished surface compared to steel, and at the time I didn't have a sander, so I couldn't give it a decent key up for anything other than a Scotch-Brite pad. So I'm not saying protector coat is a bad product, but it started flaking off the panels here, and the main reason for using the protector coat was to give it a hard-wearing finish, as the Hilux was being used as a work vehicle as well. We have since retired the Hilux from daily duties. It's now a weekend warrior, so to speak, because A, we've got the Jeff the Jazz, as Charlotte has named it, and B, my new workplace doesn't require the use of my vehicle, so something a little bit smarter, something a bit, hopefully look a bit nicer when it's installed. Yeah, keep tuned, subscribe at the bottom to make sure you get the video as soon as these go in and see the end product. Comment below if you have any questions about this paint that I can maybe answer for you, and give us a thumbs up if you've liked it. But yeah, until then, I shall see you later.